Spencer, Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. Proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is more than just a podcast.
Yay, podcast.
It is season 12. It's episode 49. We've just recorded 48, so if you haven't listened, go back because it's a cracker. 2 draws in a week, but it's question time, and I'm doing the dirty and just saying hello.
I mean, you just stay for the first one.
Go, I'll stay for the first one.
Right.
But it's time for this. Yeah, it's Facebook Twitter question time with you, the 8 or 9 listeners with Jake this week. Get to listen to us droning on and maybe answering your question, or maybe you didn't ask a question. I could stay. I'll stay for anyone's that sort of give me grief or ask me a particular question. Then go on, Nigel.
There's a couple here. So quickly, we'll go to Twitter first. So Jeremy Peter on Twitter says, "Evening, gents. What's the first 12 minutes on the stream? 2-0 Dan." He said, "Is it correct then that the team chose to ignore Moyes' tactics and went for it?
This.
Doesn't that say he's not got the belief for the players? How does that bode for the future managers? Brady out.
Brady out.
It's
How'd you prove that?
It
that a thing
suits
doing
someone
around?
with a. I've heard this story, but it suits those with an agenda. It suits their agenda, doesn't it? Who can prove it?
No one.
No, you can't. I don't believe that. To be fair.
No.
Next up, Sean loves Brady. Anyway, he said, "Would Sean rather West Ham win the Conference League or spend a night with Brady on a bed of club financial statements?" Dear, oh dear.
Tough for you, that one, isn't it?
That's a real tough one.
So
isn't
win
it?
the Conference League, Sean, or you spend the night with
Or can't
Brady
I have both?
on a bed of club financial statements.
So,
Does your missus know you fancy Brady?
yeah.
Would you like to examine her ledger, Sean?
Look. Oh, you're teasing me. I would have to go for the Conference League. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
That's very good of you.
I know.
Right. Then moving on to this one. I quite like this. Who from the first team squad would play your role on the podcast? This is Dan, 3160 4345H.
Good question, Dan.
So he said, this is a good question.
Kufau is a nutter.
Well, he then says Sean surely has to be Thomas Souček.
Harsh.
Harsh.
I think Dan last week mentioned he's giving the Arsenal game a miss. I think he sold his ticket.
Oh, did he?
I'd like to be Gerard Bowen.
Gerard
Bowen.
You think highly of yourself, don't you?
Gerard.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd have to be Fabianski.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course you would.
Has been.
It's been, yes, probably about right.
Probably still hasn't finished his kitchen,
Yeah.
Fabianski.
No, probably. Good keeper, though. And Dan goes on with Masuaku now sold and the gird dropped. Is the club still following its African players policy?
I think that's a bit harsh.
And he finishes off, I think this is at Dodsey. B&Q currently have 2-for-1 offer on red light bulbs as well.
Oh,
but
actually,
anyway.
we better address this now. It sounds like I may owe Dodsey an apology because he might not be the listener in question who likes the prostitutes, according to the chat in the supporters club. It sounds like
it's not.
Estelle.
He may not be.
He's not.
He's definitely not. Right.
Definitely
So
not.
it's Stell then. That's what you're telling me.
I'm
Because you've done your classic. I don't know. which means I'm not grass, which means I hit the
It's
nail on
not
the head.
Stell either. Stell took
So-
his misses most of those places as well.
I'm not a grass, but I will defend Dodsey. It's definitely not him.
It's not Dodsey.
You're not defending Stell.
Ah, listen.
Well,
Not
I'm
my
gonna
place,
I'll
innit?
just look. I owe it to Doddsy to now draw Stell in situ.
There you go.
Ooh.
Think it's more
Anyway,
likely. I could see
I-
Stell doing that.
I'm going to leave you to it, guys, unless you've got any particular ones aimed at me, Nigel.
Last one.
Go
Yeah,
on.
because this is the last one on Twitter. So, Mark Reaper has piped up. How you doing, Mark? Or as we like to call him, Kevin. Says, is the London Stadium an easy excuse for us when it comes to lack of atmosphere at the new ground when reminiscing of Upton Park? He then says, it sounded very good yesterday. Supporters make atmosphere, not bricks and mortar, as the visiting European fans have shown us. Brady in the bin.
Exactly what I said on Talk TV. I'm
that what
sure
you
you
said?
But it's reactive, isn't it? We need them to start it.
Yes. Yeah, we've got to feed.
We
If
need
it-
them to do the neck kissing.
But you know what? The guy from the Arsenal podcast agreed, because obviously hybrid's the same. It takes a long time for people to accept it. Some people will never accept it, and not everybody likes the Emirates. But if you're winning, like Arsenal is at the moment, or winning the league, right? It don't mean people forget the Emirates is a soulless bowl, and all the other bits, a library, and all the other bits that goes with the Emirates as well. So
The thing is, what you can't do is no one can name me one club that's moved grounds and has improved the atmosphere.
No, I think you're right. I'll make you right there.
So it was a bit of misnomer.
Same with
really.
Southampton, you know.
Yeah, it's that you think of all the clubs that have moved ground, and think of a club. The only club that's moved ground and been successful is Man City.
Really?
Arsenal,
But is their atmosphere that great?
Was
at the
Arsenal
Etihad?
been? Arsenal hasn't been more successful.
No, it hasn't.
No,
but,
not
but you
more
know,
successful,
successful or atmosphere. Don't get the two things mixed up.
But no, but in a way it goes in hand because the more successful you are, the more the fans back the team.
Yeah, well,
and-
you say that, but you've been to the Etihad. I'm sure you have, as I have.
yes, yeah.
It's not a great stadium,
It's a nice stadium.
but the atmosphere is not
No,
electric.
no, it's not. Not compared to Main Road.
Yeah,
I'll tell
exactly.
you that Kipax.
And that's the point. Main Road
yeah.
was a better atmosphere than the
I'll tell you
Etihad.
what though, I felt a lot safer walking around the Etihad than I ever
Yeah, I'm
did
sure.
walking round Moss Side and the fucking the walk into the ground past round by the old terrace. I mean, no, I love football grounds. Used to still love Liverpool until they fucking bought all the houses and knocked them down. The walk up to the ground past the old red brick terrace houses, there's something a bit nostalgic about it, and I think Everton are really gonna
Yeah,
find
they'll be
that
the
out.
next miss.
They're the next one. As
Anyway.
nice as their stadium looks, go on, you can piss off now.
I'm going to leave yous to. I might pop back at the end and sort of see how you're getting on. So see you in 2 hours, yeah?
Yeah, all
All
right.
right. Have fun.
Thank you very much. I look forward to scoring the last goal of scoring, not personally scoring, of painting the last goal at Goodison Park. Can you see it being as romantic? Can't always happen, can it?
No,
No.
definitely not.
But it'd be
I
fucking
would,
0-0.
I would love for you to paint the last goal at the London
Oh, so would
Stadium.
I.
Because it would mean we're going somewhere better, hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did ask people to be quick because I was late. Question time, and the listeners haven't let us down. Though, first up, it's Belinda. It's the
Hello,
Greek,
Belinda.
the Greek goddess of Forest Gate. Whereas evening peeps, she peeped up. Where's that West Ham been all season? She loves the show, no question. Obviously didn't get the idea there, Bill.
Well, it was rhetorical.
But the 4 kisses, 2 each, we'll take that.
Thank you, Belinda.
Ding-a-ling.
Hello, Stuart.
Well, it's quite funny considering what we spoke about in the earlier episode, people. He says, is it just me, or are those security checks and queues taking even longer to get through than ever?
Well, we flew through it,
Now,
funny enough.
Well, the
It
queue
still was long.
was long, but
It moved quicker.
yeah.
Doctor wasn't checking people.
I think we still did the right thing.
I think that was a good idea what you done.
Yeah. So I was surprised, to be fair, because I literally walked up, got searched, and walked through. Done. There was
Wow.
nobody queuing. It was, it was like I was expecting a bit of a queue. There was no queue. So yeah, that worked. I mean, literally, I think 10 minutes from the supporters club, we were walking into the ground. So, as is I normally do, I ain't telling you what I've done, people.
He's like that.
I am like that. Paul Celeb Suet, or Artura, people, as we like to call him. He's enjoying the shows. He says he thanks us for keeping them regular. We like to be regular.
Like all brand.
Yeah, well, fruit and fibre in my case. I can't do all that all brown. I've got to have a bit of dried banana.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, loves the debates, he says. He says with Paquetá
Right.
finding his feet now in the league, or not, as the penalty may be, do you think he would be a good replacement for Rice? He says, I personally would put Paquetá and Dan's in defensive midfield positions, spend the Rice money on other positions.
Well, I mean, the next manager, if we do have a next manager, might not want to play the pair of them. But I don't necessarily think we need a replacement for Rice because, like for like, I think Downs is okay. I'm feeling that I'm looking forward to Rice going and us shaking it up a little bit.
Yeah,
That sounds daft.
No, I think Paquetá's getting better because it's becoming a Rice show, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit like when Scotty Parker was here, you know. It was just, it was the everything. Everybody, even the press, just focused on him.
Yeah.
So
I think if we had two more Rices, I'd be enjoying it a bit more. But he's a standout player that I want a bit of equilibrium.
Yeah.
Again, and start getting that transition up in after.
Dan's and Paquetá, because Paquetá actually, he does in that position. I think he would link the defence more with the attack than Rice does.
Yeah.
But you know, you will lose something. But I just think he is getting better every game now he plays.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm seeing improvement.
I'm just thinking next season, you know, hopefully he'll be conditioned to the Premier League, and you know, at the end of the day, you can't be a mug and play for the Brazil like he does.
No.
Even in the World Cup.
No.
Alongside Casemiro. So, and he was getting in front of Guimaraes, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's obviously what the Brazilians think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are living with hope.
We do.
Paul. Next up, it's my favourite. Howdy all! It'll be Devon Jukes of Hazard Senior. Yeehaw! That was an inspired game worth getting up for at 8:30 a.m. I got a question. Beer.
Yes.
Has been in the news here in the old
US
of A a lot. Do you all have an American beer you like? Yeehaw! Do we have an American beer?
I'm enjoying this beer breakdown, especially as I won so many awards in beer advertising, and I was told, not literally me personally, that people like me were part of the problem. Well, it turns out that we're not, after all. Anyway, I'm not averse to a Budweiser. I can't think of anything that comes to mind. I did like Coors. Not Coors Light, regular Coors. That was nice.
I suppose what Budweiser. I got absolutely blottoed once when I was 18 on Budweiser, and it did sort of not put me off, but it sort of put me off, basically, Budweiser. I don't mind a Bud.
I don't mind
Even
a Bud.
they do a nice non-alcoholic Budweiser, to be fair.
I didn't enjoy that. I did try that.
No?
I didn't.
Oh,
Bit
right.
too malty for me.
Oh, was it?
I mean, I'm enjoying the Beck's Blue here.
I like a
think-
Beck's.
Yeah.
That's not American, though, is it?
No.
No.
It's German, but
What is American lager? I mean, apart from Budweiser and Coors.
what's coming to my head? I can't think of the other brands.
I know the brewery company's like Anaheim Busch, isn't it? Or something like that.
Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch, yeah. Anaheim's where Disney is, isn't it? Fucking idiot. But yeah,
There's a
all right.
few
Well,
more now.
I'll tell you what, Dev. Yeehaw.
You tell us ours next time, Dev.
Yeah, you tell us what we should be drinking, and
Yeah.
I'll go and get some and give it a
Yeah.
go. And if any other Americans, Dave or JR, want to tell us what beer, we'll have a whisker. Oh, next up is your Bicester Hammer. It says
Hello,
evening,
Gran.
guys. Oh, sorry, Gran Croxford, the old carrot cruncher. Evening, guys. He says, "Oh, you're all well." We are. This is a question, which is a good one. What one result in your time watching West Ham have you got the most carried away with?
That 4-1 at Easter at White Hart Lane in the early 90s.
Yeah, Stevie Jones, Trevor Morley.
Yeah. That was well.
So that was my first time in the West Ham end at Tottenham.
Was it?
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what it might be? Mine comes to think of it.
We used to go every year, but my best mate when I first went to school was a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
So we always, he used to come West Ham a lot with me. Obviously, 'cause we lived up the road, so. But we used to do weird things, like we went to the QPR Oxford Cup final in the League Cup. But then the one thing we always did was that when we went Spurs, then I would have to go and stand on the shelf, or go in. We went in the members in once, so yeah, that was the first Tottenham game. Even the Ray Clements testimonial, blimey, that was early 90s. That went off big time on the high street, and I was in the Tottenham end. So yeah, a fantastic result. One result in your time watching West Ham you got the most carried away with. I think really there's two. The Ipswich, but fun enough, they're both against Ipswich. So the Ipswich game in '86.
Yeah.
To come back from 1-0 down, getting the late penalty, winning it, the penalty that weren't a penalty as well.
It was a dive.
Yeah. So I've always said is that to be on the pitch and sing you're going to win the league, and actually
Never seen that again. Believe it.
you know, that night I actually thought we had West Brom to play. And you think Chelsea could do Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, and it's all us Everton. We could do it. We'll win the league. I think we'd won 10 games or something running up to that, mate. Or maybe not 10, but I remember we lost to Forest, didn't we? So, but we'd won a lot of games in that mad 17-18 game in 6 weeks running. But we were going to do it. And the other one, actually, was the playoff semi-final against Ipswich, and I think it's one of the maddest goals I've ever celebrated. Was not the Christian Daly goal, the Matty Everton goal, curled it top corner, and I was sitting upstairs with my nephew from the West End, so we were sort of over his shoulder when he's hit it. I don't think my nephew'd ever seen me celebrate a goal like that. I ran down the steps upstairs 5 rows. You know, you just obviously it all fell apart at Cardiff, but still, that night I thought that was a fantastic night actually.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of people enjoyed that night.
Yeah.
Especially the younger generation.
yeah.
Sort of.
yeah.
So
So
in their 30s, 40s now.
that'd be the two, Grant. That'd be two. He does go Moyes out, Sullivan out, Brady out.
Everyone out.
Proper Moyes out, is old Grant. He does. I never would have had him down as.
He wasn't always that way, but
No, I
it's
just-
reached his limit.
Yeah, everybody's got their own, breaking points.
Yeah, we do. We
Next
sure
up.
do.
It's someone I was talking about today. It's Mr. Michael Levy Jr., the soul singing superstar of Tenerife. I've pointed a mad Irish woman your way, Mike. She's coming out first week, and we was looking on the old app to see where you're playing the week she's out there. So he's a busy man. He does 2 gigs on a Friday night. He does like a 9 p.m. and a midnight gig. And he's got the Saturday Calypso bar, and he does about 4 or 5 shows a week. How he does it, God knows. Fantastic voice. If you're in Tenerife, people, honestly, you got to check him out. But anyway, there is a mad Irish woman coming your way, Mike.
Who, me?
No, Michael.
Right.
It's a woman at work, and she goes to Tenerife. And I
And
said,
she's
"Oh,
going,
my
is
mate's
she?"
a singer out there." And she got the old Facebook page up and everything. Evening, gents, says Michael. Do we think the players went rogue yesterday, like the Nottingham Forest game? Any truth in Moyes going to let the shackles off because he's going at the end of the season? And Gary Moore said, "I did wonder myself." Do you think that's a thing? Do you think players would go, "Oh, fuck this, we'll do it our way"?
I don't know is the honest answer. I mean, it wouldn't take every one of them to do it. Some of them would still be doing the same thing. So if you would, I would imagine Declan Rice would be in a position to do it. I would imagine Ben Rama would be in a position to do it. So I'd say some of the midfielders. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what the players want to do or they think they want to do. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to a change. I really, really am.
Yeah.
I think we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, unless he plays out, which obviously ain't going to happen, the next 7 games the way he did with Europe, unless he suddenly does every week. We're playing like we did against Arsenal. I think he has gone to the point of no return. And that's the funny thing is, I wouldn't, if he wins the Conference League, I wouldn't be adverse to him staying. But it's not something where I'm going to, get up a speaker's corner and demand that Moyes must remain, because I'm not going to do that. Because I actually think that 2 reasons. Sometimes as well, if the fan base is not going to take to him, you have to start a season going forward together.
Yeah.
And I was talking to an Arsenal fan today at work, who was asking me about Moyes. Said, but really, it's no reason to be Moyes out. But I would do it just to bring the fan base, just to end that toxicity that's in the fan base. Because let's be honest, the majority have had enough of him.
Yeah.
So, and I can't see him swinging it back. But as for the players doing that, frankly, I always remember a conversation. I did one of the bowling tours with Parksy and Alan Taylor, and I remember asking Alan Taylor about when you go on the pitch, do you remember what how much? Because John Lyle never did all that touchline stuff, did he? He would sit upstairs most of the time.
Where he'd sit in the dugout having a fag a lot of the time.
Or he'd even go upstairs in the director's box and sit up there for the first half. And basically he said, well, generally we would as you go out on the pitch, 90% of what you're told you forgot, and you play the game as it happens in front of you. Yeah, because if you can't predict what the opposition's going to do.
No, that's right.
So that'll change your mind on a pass on an instant.
Every action causes a reaction.
Yeah, and so and that's why sometimes I can be a bit defensive of Moyes, because it's the players making decisions there and then, what passes to make, when to shoot, when to release the ball, when not to release the ball. That's all the players making the decision. Coaching wise, set pieces. If when we were good at set pieces, that had to be the coaching, but we're not good at set pieces now. So that's a failure in a way of the coaching. But coaching can set a team up. It wants you to play a certain way. But apart from that, what happens in the game, I think, is 90% down. Where a manager earns his spurs is what happens at half time. I used to love Bilic more than anything, because a lot of times we would go in losing at half time and then come out in the second half and get a result. And some of the early games, when we lost to Bournemouth and when we lost to Leicester, both them games we won the second half. It was just that we'd been that bad in the first half that we ended up losing the games 4-3 and 3-2. But you think, well, he's got a reaction out of the players, isn't he? So there's something there at half time where he's saying to them, come on, let's sort this out. And it does. But Moyes don't seem to have that effect, does he?
No.
Next up, it's father, Chris Snickers Kinch.
Yeah, because he's run a marathon again.
Because he's run a marathon. Did you see the time he did?
Wow. And that, I think he might have said that wasn't too impressive.
Well, yeah.
It was for us.
It was for us. I mean, if that's not impressive, was it like just over 3.5 hours? That's something going. That is something.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It was 3 hours something. Come on, Chris. I know you're.
Let's have a look. Let's give him a
look
at
at
praise.
We've got to big it up, because that is. It was the Manchester Marathon for a start. So obviously.
Yeah, 3 hours 53. I knew it was just
3 hours 53.
under one of the hour marks.
Well, there you
go.
That's
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. Hats off to you, Chris. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
I hope you do better next time, though, if you're disappointed with that time. I don't think I'll do a half marathon in that. He says, who's your favourite player of the current squad? His is Vladimir Kufal. Works hard and gives 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all like that, don't we? I think he might be my favourite player in the current squad. Trying to think. Process of elimination, isn't it?
I'd like Kufal. I like him a lot.
But
he's got the Repka about him, but doesn't lose his head like Repka in a way. But obviously, my favourite is like Fabianski. Personally.
Yeah, funny that.
Well, long may he reign. I'll be happy if I'll tell you what I would like next season: a reversal. If we get into Europe again, which is a possibility, I'd play Fabianski in Europe and put Areola into the Premier League.
That's if Areola wants to ring around.
Well, look, we bought him and he signed a contract.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up is Mr. Noland. It's the chauffeur here. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
He says, that was more like it yesterday. Welcome back to West Ham, I know and love. Exactly, Paul. Exactly as I tweeted yesterday. Nobody thought. We were talking about 3-0 would be a good loss. And they go and do that. He has got a quick question. I said, did you say last week you cleared out some Timberland boots? I did. He said, I work with Timberland and I'm going to the head office in the US in July. Shame we could have made some money. Anyway, Moyes out, Brady out, Sullivan out.
Everyone out.
Everyone out. Everyone's a winner. Next question.
Who is it?
It's Alan Ladd. It's
Cheryl.
Shane. Come back, Shane. And Shane's come back.
Yes.
Evening, gents. This is a great podcast, as always. Here we go. It says, what is your favourite West Ham or football themed book you've all read. Brady out. Do you read
Brady
football
out.
books?
Not for a long, long time.
No?
No.
No?
So I would say I couldn't give you an answer.
No?
It would be unfair to answer.
No, I don't think it is. You could give an answer.
Probably the Julian Dix autobiography. That was a long while ago.
Terminator?
First
yeah?
ones, yeah. No, I just don't read them.
Well,
Go on,
being a
this is one for you.
yeah, being a bookworm, a man with his own library, approximately must be nudging nearly 400 books. I've got over 100 West Ham books. I could pick two here. So if I said West Ham, it would be. I'm trying to find the books. I'm looking. Obviously, got all the books behind me. I think it was just called West Ham. It was by Charles Core, and it was he did it. He was an American professor who came over, and I think he had access to the club for like 4 or 5 years between 81 and 85, and he basically it's the best book about West Ham you'll ever find, history wise. So he looks at the social beginnings of the club.
Right.
And how it's tied to Canning Town.
Right.
So for me as a kid, it was a fantastic read. It was the first book that explained to me who the people were that set the club up in 1900, and how it was tied to the ironworks and everything else. And he goes through, and the club had given him full access as well. So for like 4 or 5 years, he had full access to the archives of the club. And here I go, I can see it now. So it is called West Ham United.
Yeah.
That's
Good
the
title.
That's the name of the book.
That'll catch the punters, that will.
Yeah, that'll catch the punters. I'll get it down. By Charles Core.
Right.
I still remember the day buying it in W.H. Smith's at East Ham.
Really?
Copped all my £8, copped all my pocket money, the lot. But yeah, it's got some great pictures of the old days, and it explains who owns the club throughout everything, and the players and the way that the board, the old mantra about, there was a story that some board members of West Ham, or the West Ham board, were happy enough not being successful, because we always got big crowds, and it meant there was less expectation on the club, and that stemmed from a director of the club called Albert Davis, who helped form the club in 1900, and actually didn't die till 1955. I think he's the longest serving director the club ever had. 50 odd years he served on the board, and his brother spent time on the board as well. And he in the 1930s, after West Ham had been relegated, he sort of made an off-the-cuff comment about we're better off in the second division than getting promoted because there's less expectation. But the crowds were still turning up. So that's the West Ham book. So check that out. West Ham United, Charles Core. You can pick up second hand. John Lowell says, a most interesting and intriguing insight into the club and its history.
He didn't put a question in, did he?
No, but that's what John Lowell said. No, I've had a word with him. I've got old Doris Stokes to talk. And the non-West Ham book, my favourite non-West Ham book, is called Jack and Bobby. And it's an autobiography of Jack Charlton and Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, I guess that.
The brothers. And it's a fantastic story, because chalk and cheese, absolute chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
One was destined for greatness, the other one was destined for the pits, and they both, went on to win the World Cup, and one went on to be, still loved in Ireland a day. But the family story and the fact that whether it's common knowledge or not, not there was not a dislike of each other, but a sibling rivalry
Mm.
where perhaps one didn't understand the other one and vice versa. As brothers, we
Yeah.
all know that, don't we? Actually.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
So, fortunately for me and my brother, we're still pretty good. Naturally, we're going to go canoeing together. So,
Yeah.
So that's one. So check that out, people. Jack and Bobby. Leo McKinstry, I think, was the writer off the top of my head. I'm trying to see. I've got so many books dotted around here hidden away, I can't see it. But thanks for that, Shane. Let me know, Shane. Let us know what book you 1982 annual West Ham United's a bloody good one. Especially the little picture of the mascot running out of the pitch.
Hey.
Yes, people, I'll go that far back. Evening, gents. It's old cheeky.
Steve Lines.
Favourite postman. Hope you will. He says, following on from last week with my Kretinsky hat comment, it's all to do with Royal Mail. Of course it is. Don't blame you, mate. If anyone's leeching on Royal Mail, it would be Kretinsky. He says it's not football related yet. Funny enough, I know a couple of people in the post office, and none of them have got a good thing to say about Kretinsky.
I
A great
suppose
result.
I really know him, really.
No, but I'd listen. How this country ever allowed anybody to buy that percentage or whatever? And I think the post office is being deliberately run down by people in the government myself. But I won't get all political. This is a great result, you see. I listened to it on the radio, but after 10 minutes, I was thinking double figures. He said, but I summed it up perfectly in your tweet about never knowing how West Ham will do against the top sides. He said, I only listened to last week's pod this morning. If I'd listened last week, I might have remembered the Gent game was on early. I forgot all about it. I missed the game. If you reminded everyone, it was an early kick-off. It was, mate. It was. Think it's a tricky game Thursday, but it'd be nice to see a couple of the youngsters get a game or some minutes. Well, we need to win it first, Steve. What would be your side for Thursday night? He said, as always, thanks for an amazing effort we put in, even the Stoke.
Well, I won't go that far.
Anyway, Kretinsky out.
Kretinsky out.
Kretinsky out.
That rolls off the tongue nice.
Yeah.
Kretinsky out. Nice.
Well, could we? I mean, what about GKB out?
GKB.
Oh no, we can't. Gold's dead, isn't he? He's already gone. So it's SKB out, isn't it? BKS out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone out.
GKB.
Everyone out.
That's a burger chain, isn't it? GKB.
That's what I was thinking when you said it.
That's probably why I said it.
Gourmet Burger Kitchen.
That's it.
GBK.
Yeah. GBK, yeah.
We're doing some work for them. Once.
Who would you put any kids in Thursday?
Don't know. Is the answer. If I knew more about Ghent, I'll give you an answer. I don't know. I think it's an important game. I really do think it's an important game. You know, because we get another. If we can carry on that form just in the next two games in the league, then we're going to feel a bit different when the next round comes. Semi-final, we're going to see it's just going to totally feel different. So I think it is an important game.
Yeah, and also for me, with the league form, you know, the more points we can get the earlier on, the better it will be, and our chances of winning Europe. And my point of view has always been that, you know, you got to finish 5th or 6th to get Europa League.
Yeah.
Well, you got to finish 5th or win the FA Cup, and if you're lucky, whoever wins the FA Cup, if you don't, is in the top 4. So they will go. into the Europa League, because obviously if Brighton finish 7th and win the FA Cup, then whoever finishes 6th will have to go in the Conference League, which could be Spurs, which would be quite funny, wouldn't it? But that's a scenario that Brighton could actually achieve.
Yeah. Still fair bit of football left.
No, but by winning the Conference League, we're in the Europa League. So
Yeah.
actually, the same outcome of what we'd get for being 5th or 6th, but actually we'd have done it by actually winning a trophy, and I think that's a far better way of doing it.
Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it? It would be great.
It would, yeah, it would.
I'd love to paint us lifting at that trophy. I really would.
Yeah, but I am with you. You think, oh, so, and this is the thing, because I have been thinking this far ahead. So if you think, what if Fiorentina sort of playing purple on white, isn't it?
Yeah, you're thinking about the kit, aren't you?
I am.
I am.
I am worrying.
I'm really worried about that white and orange kit.
Because that is the worst kit I've possibly.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, let's fucking cross that bridge when we come to it.
So I'd rather wear either the home kit or the dark kit. But then
you got to want to wear the home kit. Look, we've got to wear the home kit. I don't want any fucking faff about, we're winning white and all this bollocks. No, we don't fucking win in orange.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
just
fucking
looking,
crop it. If he's lifting the trophy above his head, I can crop it so you don't see the orange.
Yeah. Well, Nice playing like AC Milan type kit, so red and black stripes.
Don't help us, does it? We don't want that.
So, no. I don't know if we would. I don't know how they. I don't know if it's a toss of the coin. FA Cup used to be a toss of the coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who was at home or not?
Yeah.
Next up is my good mate. It's Uncle Ted Sexton, Dave's son. Evening, gents. He said, I thought we were going into the Guinness Book of Records after 10 minutes. Thoroughly deserved the point. We could have had 3. Man of the match he's gone for. Kufal. You got a man of the match?
Well, I said Kufal, but then again, I do think Bowen had a good game as well. He was exceptional.
I'd like to say who I thought was man of the match, but
Go on.
I think it was a bit of a blur, really, to be fair.
Don't say Fabianski.
No, not Fabianski. Do you know what? I thought Paquetá had a good game, to be fair, and so did Ben Rama.
Yeah, he did, yeah. I'm not sure about Benny.
Bowen had a lot of good touches. So.
Well, he was a powerhouse.
Yeah, but the only thing is, we do seem up front to have lost the ability to beat a player.
Yeah.
Both Antonio and Bowen seem to have lost that to skin a player and put them down. Next up is my good mate Johnny Osborne. We should congratulate his son, who at the weekend.
How did he do?
He plays for Leyton Orient, I think under 12s. They were in a tournament in Spain, and they lost in the final.
Oh.
To a top European team. So, well done, Freddie Osborne.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the day when perhaps West Ham pick you up on 4-inch books. But keep going for the O's. And I think they were like playing up a year group as well in the tournament. So a lot to be proud of. Brady out, says John.
Brady out.
He says, after the draw with the Gooners, do you think the players decided, another one? Did Moyes take the shot? Did the players do it, or was it Moyes?
Don't know the answer.
Did the quick fire double with the Gooners change our game plan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's more like it.
Yeah.
I think that's more like it. And also, I do think that that going 2-0 down that early, perhaps it did shake the players into, Jesus Christ, we've got to do something here. Because if it had continued that way, there would have been a lynching, wouldn't there?
Crikey, yeah.
I'll tell you what I did notice as well, which I was pleased about. It's not my business anyway. Is how packed the stadium was going into the 90th minute. Hardly anyone left early.
No, that was true.
Now, even if we're winning, people, if we're like 1 or 2-0 up, people start bolting on the 80th minute. So if we're 2 or 3 down, people start bolting on the 75th minute. But there was no one getting up and going.
No.
Till the end. So the fans were with the players. Talking to people that stayed till the end, I know that because we walked down the stairs together. It's old Ziggy Stardust himself. Mr. Davy Jones. Evening all. It's a very enjoyable game in the end on Sunday and a much better performance and atmosphere. Even though it's a London derby and you'd think tickets were harder to come by, there was a lot of tourists and groups.
It was.
Yes. Questions to you lot.
Go on.
If you, oh, blimey, if you had to buy one half and half scarf per season, what game would it be? Brady out.
Brady
half
out.
And half scarf.
God, that's a horrible question, Dave. I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
Newcastle. No reason at all.
No.
I don't know how to answer it. It's not 1 in 19. So who would you pick?
I used to have an Anderlecht pennant. So if we get Anderlecht in the semi-final, but I bought that pennant when they played Spurs in the UEFA Cup final. If you're saying
per season, really you're saying a Premier League team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one, really.
It is a tough one.
I'd look forward to the day that there's a West Ham Millwall half and half scarf and the reaction to that. There was a lot about at the week. There was a group. I know Sean punted a picture out of the geezer from Ted Lasso. But do you remember we see him going in the orbit?
Don't know who he is.
No, don't you remember? I pointed out that group and said, "Oh, they had a photographer with them," and I said, "Look, that group there. They all got given a brand new scarf by the club."
Well, it had something to do with Ted Lasso, did it?
Well, it turned out, that one of them was an actor in Ted Lasso. I don't know who. I've only seen the first series and I couldn't remember, to be fair. But there was about a dozen of them, weren't there? So I don't know if they're part of the Ted Lasso whatever, but obviously Sean got a photograph of them.
They did look American.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
We've not answered Dave. You sort of went Newcastle, didn't you?
I don't know how to answer the question.
If Sunderland come up, Dave, a West Ham Sunderland one wouldn't go amiss. I have got one half and half scarf, and that's from the FA Cup final in 2006. So if we got to another final, I would buy another half and half scarf. I would have them for the final. That's it. But that's your lot.
Fuck that. We even have that.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Next up is Ed Hughes.
Loves a bit of squirrel.
He does love a bit of
squirrel. I'm not on form tonight.
No, I do. It weren't too bad. He says Arsenal started like Ghent finished, limp and unimpressive.
Yeah.
But the last 65 minutes, he says, was the best football in 12 months.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Wrong there, Ed. He has got a question.
Go on, Eddie.
Will that boost in form continue for the next leg? Or false dawn and beige will return?
I like the colour beige. But I do think it's a little bit of a force. Might be a bit of a force. Yeah. We'll see, won't we? Big game Thursday. I keep saying. We'll see. It might not be a bad idea to come to think of it, keep the same team and have a sort of mini season on the way in. Do you know what I mean? Just get a bit of momentum. I don't know the answers.
Yeah. I think I think it was one of them where the players are like 2-0 down and they've been kicked up the arse.
Yeah,
And-
definitely. It was a reaction.
and
yeah.
it was a reaction to going 2-0 down. I think if we hadn't have gone 2-0 down, I'm not sure we'd have seen
No,
a
it would have been the
performance like that.
same old.
But they sort of started to believe in themselves when they got the goal back and realised Arsenal were there. Did
Yeah.
have that soft?
They didn't like it happen, did they, Arsenal?
They didn't.
Struggled with corners.
Yeah, they did. They didn't.
A lot of teams that saw that. That might cost them the league. That.
Perhaps that keeper as well, because I think he should have saved the Bowen one. He got his hand to it. Perhaps he shows why Pickford's England's number one, and not Ramsdale. But
yeah, he didn't cover himself with glory, did he?
He didn't. Next up, it be old Richard Dodds.
Oh, Dodsey.
Here we go.
With his newfound reputation.
Gummers himself. Yeah, he's Saint Richard Dodds, we should say.
It's not going mad.
All right, my handsomes, how you doing? He says, another fantastic trip in Europe again. Nearly 5,000 West Ham fans with no trouble. And again, we did ourselves proud as supporters as requested by the stubborn Scottish man. He then says, Ghent, let's be honest, a very good team. So it will be difficult on Thursday.
Yeah.
Arsenal on Sunday. Nigel, you know how the saying goes, goals are fun. And that was fun.
Goals are fun.
Goals are fun, Dodds. I've always said it. And he has asked, am I prediction of 22 points out of the remaining games going? Are you still on track? Well, Dodsy, thanks to that point, I am bang on track. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure coming up because the next game.
Yeah, because we're going to win the rest of them according to your prediction.
No, because I think the Liverpool game was a tough one. I think we could get a point from Liverpool, but I'm not too pressured. But we've got 7 from the 4. If we get what we got, 8 games left, 7 games left.
I think so, yeah.
7 games left. So if we can repeat 7 points from the next 4, and then get 6, I'd finish with 20 points. So if I get 20 points out of that, all you lot were laughing at me, thinking we'd be lucky to get 10.
Yeah, we've still got time to laugh at you, don't you?
Yes, you have. No. But at the moment, I'm sitting here crowing. He then asks, is there any update on the Chelsea fan who lost his life in Belgium? And also the lad who has... Yeah, he's still dead. Yeah. And there's no truth in the rumour that he was chased by a wild scarecrow-looking man with the hair like Boris Johnson. At all.
No.
And he also says, and the lad who had a serious injury in Larnaca. Well, there's no update on that.
No, I don't know.
He's probably still there because, unfortunately.
This isn't a death podcast.
No, but he didn't get. I gather he didn't have insurance by the amount of money needed to get him home. So, I don't know. But obviously, our thoughts are with the man's family that died. And
yeah.
It said bad news for you, Nigel,
Me?
Sean, and Len, and Keith. So bad news, yeah. He said because he signed up to the supporters club. So I have no excuse going forward. Well, you didn't have an excuse anyway, Dodge, because we'd have signed you in, mate. But the idea is that you turn up.
How does he work that out then? Why would he sign up now?
I don't. I
thought he was already a member.
No, he wasn't.
I'm so confused.
No, he wasn't a member. No. Brady out.
Brady out.
It's one of our favourite Canadians. It's Barry Michael or Mickle.
Hello, Barry.
Or Barry Mickle Antonio. Evening, gents. He says, hope yous are all well. Loves the show.
Thank you very much.
He listens every week, but I keep missing the question deadline. Not the day, Bazza. He says, I must admit, he switched off 10 minutes on Sunday, was presently surprised. Oh, Bazza, you can't do that. That's a Seanism. Turn off after 10 minutes. He said, I watched the second half late and we were brilliant, to be fair. Why haven't we... This is a question. This is a great question. Why haven't we used Kufau's long throw ability before? I always say this. Throw the ball that far.
Do you know, I was saying this. We've always switched off on throw-ins,
Hmm.
and it's as good as another set piece. And
That's a
that's the
great
only
weapon.
time when we throw players up the field. So
I think
I
it was
agree.
the first half. I was sitting there. Kufal's gone to take the throw. And I went, why are they all standing in the middle of the box?
Now you
Get
know.
nearer and get in a line. And you ain't going to be able to throw it that bloody far.
He did.
Bang, he did. And Charlie laughed. When obviously he can. We both thought, I've never knew he could do that. But we did it a few other times.
We were a lot more direct the weekend, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we needed to be.
Declan Rice stopped taking free kicks, mate. Yeah. He had one where he had a couple where he didn't beat the first man, but he's standing there with Creswell. And Creswell may not be the defender he was, but he can still cross a ball better than a lot of people.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, there was one in the first half right in front of you, and he didn't he hit the first man who headed it away. What a waste.
Yeah.
Barry then says Arsenal had no idea to deal with the throw. It's like Black had a go forth quote. I didn't want to blow my own trumpet. Well, you might have at least told us you had a trumpet. That's true.
Yeah.
Next up is our good friend Ian Wiley. Hope you're doing well, E.
Yeah.
Keep going, son. I look forward to
Yeah.
that day when you're sitting in my shed.
Yeah.
Hyle says poor game in Europe, but we're still in it. And a great fight back on Sunday. Lovely to see a decent fight for a change. We need lots more of that against the lesser opposition too, not just the big boys. Ian thinks 36 points could be enough to stay up. And looking at the teams others below us have to play, how many points? Well, we've done this one, E. You've heard us, you know.
Nigel thinks 46.
No, I think 36 is enough to stay up. I think we'll get... What did I say? I think we'll
46.
No, a 40... Was it 46?
Yes. It was 10 more than me because I said 36.
24, yeah. So we'll get over 40. Yeah.
Oh, it's not 46 then.
Well,
now.
let's go. Let's see. I think 42
Look, you predicted the games one by one.
I did, yes. 22
and then we had
points.
to 46 points.
And I'm currently on target. You know, there's a lot of pressure, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, that was... Let's face it, I did that before I realised how good Bournemouth were. Because out of all them, I thought Bournemouth was the banker. Now I'm thinking...
You can't have the shakes over Bournemouth after predicting 46 points.
No, I know, but when you look at it, you think Bournemouth's a banker when you look at that, and then it turns out Bournemouth's going to be one of the hardest games.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? Next up is Canning Town Len and his
me.
Len's Art Fair.
Yeah, put a lad in.
He said you can buy Pele and Bobby as a 2-foot, 3-foot canvas. Yeah. He said, will look great in that room you decorated over Easter.
Yeah, not you, of course, Nigel. You did nothing like that over Easter. Pardon me. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say what I've been. No. I dismantled a cupboard in my living room, and behind it was like 25 to 30 wires.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten that I did all the cabling for the house behind this cupboard, and now
I thought you were going to do stuff in the garden.
No, I've done a lot in the garden, but I wanted to get rid of this cupboard, this unit, get it on the skip. Skip's going tomorrow, so that was what I was doing this weekend. Just I did front garden this weekend, tidied that up. Yeah.
Anyway, big canvas is for sale now, people.
There you go. So check it out, canningtownlen.com, people.
Yeah.
You don't even need a www. Just do that, canningtownlen.com.
Have a look in the shop at the selection. There'll be more going in soon.
Yeah. And that does look like a great painting, Bobby Moore.
It's come out well, that one.
Evening, gents. It's Super Chrissy Mills. So give him his full
Chris.
name. Fantastic result, a good drink. Was you with us? Because it was both. And a good laugh, that's what we had. And it got me buzzing for Thursday. And more so, the under-18s next Tuesday. Can't wait for that. He says, I'll be there, mate.
Was that tomorrow?
No, next Tuesday.
Right.
He says, I know Dinger's already said it, but although when we get a decent result, the shyness of the London stadium subsides, he says. But them searches. What can we do to get rid of them? 20 minutes, they just let you through. It is moronic and infuriating. Should we as fans just start to steam through, as it's beyond a joke now? Brady out, everyone out,
Brady out.
security checks out.
Everyone out, please. Just go.
Well, I don't. Who puts them in place? Is it the LLDC? Is it the stadium people? I can't see it being the club. I don't see the point of them. It is a bit stupid when you see the queues that we faced, and it is rather pointless, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way, and I still think the better way is to just search the people with bags. I don't know. Why other clubs has it not done and nothing and not a lot happens? And I don't know.
I don't know either.
Next up, is this the last one tonight? Maybe, I don't know. Is AI Sean?
Aye, Sean.
Right then, gentlemen. Yorkshire, Kent. Dismal. I say dismal performance. Players looked like they thought it was pre-season friendly. Fortunate to be level heading back to the bowl. I won't disagree there, but I think you're being a bit harsh on the performance. Arsenal, he said, I feared the worst when we were 2-0 down, but credit to the players, we showed some grit. Winning the ball higher up the pitch makes such a big difference. We continue to do that. That is true, isn't it? The pressing was...
Yeah, it did seem better. I think it's because they felt that they could have a bit of joy doing it.
Yeah, but
You know
the lesser teams that are not as skillful...
Yeah.
You're going to get more joy, Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, the penalty came from...
yeah.
The rush by Rice on Partey.
Yeah.
He says, fingers crossed players take confidence Thursday, get the job done for Gent. He said, I still think Dave's delusional has potentially wasted the best part of 170 million, but that's a conversation for another day. He says, in the meantime, I'm quite happy to revel in the misery of the Gooners who thought they'd already won the league.
What was the question?
What I would say, he's got some questions quickly on that. I mean, if you look at the 170 million, so you do it player by player. Is Areola a waste? No, I don't think so.
No.
No? Right, so let's do it.
No,
So, Downs. Waste? Or
No.
not? No, right. Okay.
But they're time issues.
Yeah, Paquetá.
Areola was bought, obviously, he was obviously a keeper we're interested in.
Yeah.
And maybe we get, it was a bit of a season too early, but we had no choice.
Okay.
Well, we're 2 seasons too early.
Paquetá. Waste
No.
or not?
No.
Right, so that's
just
3.
It's just his price tag, and in fact, he's Brazilian. He's getting judged on that. But
Yeah.
no, he's coming good.
So, Danny Ings, waste or not?
I think that was a waste.
Oh, you do?
I do actually, yeah, because the way we play, he's just an extra body, and he's a good striker, but he's not good for us. And next year he's going to be even older. We got rid of back end in the wrong system. You can't buy goals. It's like when we bought the Irish boy from Spurs, Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that a bit.
Well, that's why I was pleased actually that he got that goal in Europe.
Yeah.
Because it got him off the dreaded 2 that I pointed out was the Les Ferdinand and Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
The 2 strikers brought in to save us in years we got relegated, and they only scored 2 goals each. So he's got off of that. I think he'll turn out all right. Aged?
No, he's all right.
Good sign. So that's good. So obviously, then we're at Skamaka.
You see, I think again we're not for great by him. It's a striker situation that we don't get right, isn't it? So every penny we've ever spent on strikers is has worked out not worth it. It's been bad. I mean, when you think that back to Chicharito, he must have been my first choice striker for years and years and years. And then we got him, and you sort of wonder how we're going to fit him in. And that's been the case with every striker. Now, if we'd move a striker, like the situation we've got now with Divin Mbama, if we give youngsters a chance, like we used to, we could save a lot of money there, couldn't we?
Oh, I
Because if
believe so.
every striker's going to be fucking shit, I mean, we'd ruin Haaland.
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
we?
think he's the real deal, that Obama myself.
You do?
Given the time, brought through properly, given the time.
Yeah.
So not instant, you know. It might be when he's 21, but you got to keep persevering with him. I do think that that he's looking, that he will be. I mean, quickly we got Maxwell Cornet. He's only 25.
We're not getting good value out of him, are we?
Not
You're
at the
looking
moment.
per game.
Sit on the fence with him then, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, Emerson.
Yeah, okay. I mean, with that one, you're looking for the money, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is he worth it?
15 million.
What can you buy for 15 million?
Well, Emerson.
Yeah.
Lastly, Kera.
I don't know. How much you pay for him?
12 million euros, according to transfermarket.com.
Okay. Don't know the answer.
So, and this is the thing, when you look at it, people go about, I blew 170 or more million.
But you did.
Yeah, but when you look at it, on the face of it, 2 signings I would sit on the fence on. One I don't think's worked, and all the rest have.
But if you compare that to the spree that Bilic had when he joined, well, that was a wholesale change. That was 50 million, wasn't it? 55 million in total. That was fantastic signings.
What, under Bilic? Or
Yeah. Come in, he got... Well, he made all the signs.
no, I remember you're talking about 2016.
Yeah.
So you're. I mean, this is it, yeah. So we got Andre Ayew,
Yeah.
Lanzini, who was, remember, he was
a
only
loan
on
then.
loan. So
Yeah.
then he was brought in, signed as a permanent.
Yeah.
Jose Font,
Good signing, I thought.
Masuaku,
Yeah, all right. Not bad.
Edmilson Fernandez,
Not great.
no, Simone Zazar.
Yeah, that's a different window. Some of these are in a different... That was the second one.
This is when he bought the money. This is
No,
2016.
yeah, I realise that. I'm talking about the first go.
Oh, the first
When
go.
he arrived. So he
right.
bought
Hold up.
Dimitri Payet.
I'll tell you. Let's go back 1 year.
The loan signing with the boy from Chelsea, Abrahams. That was a good signing.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at
Lanzini
this,
on the
I'm
loan.
struggling to find a bad one. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'll read them out. So we go.
Yeah.
Obviously, Payet was the big money.
Cracker.
Ogbonna,
Cracking signing.
nothing but outstanding. Antonio,
Brilliant signing.
player I loved. Obiang.
Wonderful signing.
Sam Byram.
Yeah, he didn't work out, but he did
No.
get injured.
Yeah. Jelic. I thought he was okay.
Go on about him.
I thought he was okay. One bloke I don't remember. It was Stephen Hendry.
Who?
Yeah. Pot
Who?
black. Yeah. A bloke I didn't think was bad was Emenike.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah. Then we had Randolph came in.
Right.
Alex Song on loan.
Oh,
I thought
great
was
signing.
terrific signing. Victor
Gotta get him
Moses,
and
I
all.
thought, was
Great
another
signing.
another one. And the other loan was Lanzini.
Great signing.
So,
Wonderful times.
yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that. AI Sean says Moyes seems to be pinning his hopes for the rest of the season on Bowen on a scoring run. So is
Yeah,
he admitting
I
that he
think so.
fucked up big time buying Ings? I don't think he is. I think he's going to play Ings in Europe. As Noble ruined what remains of his legacy by saying Bosch at the Cosy Calf. Well, I hope he didn't say
did?
Bosch. Because if he did say Bosch, I've only seen videos, then Tanner status will be revoked. I don't care. Not having that.
No,
And
we're not.
what, saying Bosch after that?
No, we're not having it.
No, we're not having it. And will anyone miss Masuaku now he's departed for good? I think people were harsh on Masuaku, actually.
Yeah, I think you done all right.
I thought he was a good. I think if he was playing this season, our defence would have been equally as bad.
Praise indeed.
There we go. And he says, of course, Brady out, Sullivan out,
Everyone out.
Just double check because that could be the end of Facebook Twitter question time. Of course it's not. It's not the end. Yeah, I'm along. This is good going. Here we go, people. Next up, Bob House or Bob's Full House. He says, with Leeds getting another Tonkin as we speak, who will go down? Who's going down?
Don't know. Southampton.
Yeah, I think
Forest
Forest will
gone.
go.
Yeah.
Saints,
Not
Forest.
football left. Not football left.
Do you think Leicester?
Can't see it.
I mean, if we had Brendan Rodgers, yeah, and Brendan Rodgers was doing as well as David Moyes, yeah, and we sacked Rodgers for Dean Smith, would you be impressed, realistically?
No, not really.
Strange
Not
move.
our problem.
Strange move. Next up, it's Joe Gazelle.
Oh, Joe.
The only listener I know with a Z in his name. Evening, gents, he says. A great result Sunday. Reminded me of how we were playing early last season. It's the rumour. Don't believe the rumours, Joe. Moyes has given in and agreed to let the boys play some football. It's put about by Moyes outers probably who can't accept it. The real mad ones. If true, looking forward to the rest of the games and the 46 points predicted by the guru.
Yeah, that'd be you. See?
Anyway.
Even he knew it was 46 points.
So it was. Well, let's see. Let's see, people. I'm on track. And anyway, he finishes his love lens painting of Morrissey wanking Nigel off. Brady out.
You did ask for it. Brady out.
Yeah, I did ask for it. Next up, it's Jack Morgan. Captain Jack.
Captain.
Captain Jack Morgan says, evening, chaps. What order would you appoint the following and why? So he's listed 4 names. You ready?
Yeah.
They are Vieira, Keep Moyes, Potter, Rodgers. And he's gone Brady out, Moyes out.
Brady out, Moyes out. I think I'd have Rodgers at the top, followed by Potter.
Yeah?
I would have Potter followed by Rodgers. Keep Moyes at the bottom, Vieira in third.
Yeah.
What about you?
I
think he's a bit. Potter's a little bit. There's stuff coming out about Potter. Not his fault, obviously.
I did like Vieira, but I just thought Palace were a bit. I don't
think it's that's
blew out
enough for
cold.
West Ham though.
Well,
if it was Arsenal or City,
I'd have Rodgers. Yeah, if I'm doing that, actually, I'd probably go Rodgers, keep Moyes.
fuck
Potter than Vieira.
Really? You keep Moyes over Potter?
Yeah,
He's
but
another roll of the dice, isn't he?
I just the funny thing is nothing he did at Chelsea said to me, "Oh, this bloke." And this is the thing when you look at
Well, look
Brighton.
how Lampard's doing.
Yeah, but look at Brighton.
Yeah, but look at Lampard.
Yeah, but he's doing as well as Potter did. You know.
Oh, great! What a legend he is, Lampard.
That's what I'm saying. But if you look at Brighton now under De Zerbi, so he's gone in, took what Potter was doing, and made it even better. So was Potter? What how much was Potter and how much was the system? We'll never know the answer. That's the thing, because how secretive the system is. But the only way you know the answer is for Potter to get another job and either succeed or fail at that.
I'm looking at the table. I've got the table up on the TV now. Leicester are 4 behind Leeds.
Yeah. Okay.
A big one's going down somewhere.
Next up, it's Adam Leatherbarrow.
Right, Adam.
I had a leather barrow and a wheel fell off. That was an old Notts County song.
Was it really?
Well, yeah, I think it went like that. Along with a player who hadn't had like a Malteser, but I don't know if we're allowed to sing that one anymore.
No.
But anyway, they sung it about their own player, Notts County. Strange things you remember from 1991. Last week, Adam says, I was adamant that Moyes would go after the Newcastle game. I was well pissed off for about an hour. And then I reflected, I realised, shit, he still ain't going anywhere, is he? Hates me to say it, but I think keeping Moyes is the right decision. We've spent a lot of money rebuilding the team, and it looks like we'll be spending that again in the summer to finish the rebuild. Let's be honest, if Moyes is sacked and we get someone like Rafa in long term, oh please, it will do more long term damage than good, and we'll have to rebuild the entire team to suit him.
We'll bring Rafa in.
And when that fails, brackets, it will, we're having to rebuild again with another manager who will have an harder job on their hands. We're going to destabilise the club, changing manager now. Even in the summer, we've been on a great run of form. I hope it continues. I do think that when Moyes does eventually go, he'll leave a very good squad for a good coach to work with. So he then says, so I think Moyes has to stay, and even more so if he keeps us up and lifts the Conference League, putting us in Europe for a third successive season with Premier League football. He should stay.
Where's the question?
Third season in Europe on the trot, never been done before. And this is one thing where I get torn. How can you sack a manager that does that? I know he's got to do it, but how can you do that? It'll be an harsh thing. For a West Ham manager to win a trophy, qualify for the Europe for the third year running, never been done in the club's history. And then to say, well, do you know what? Thanks, but no thanks.
Okay, well, let's see. If that had been down the dice, what would you have done?
Yeah, but hold up, and this is the thing
right,
where
hold
I
up
am
as much as you like,
it
then.
is, because everybody throws Allardyce at me, and I've got the greatest get out, yeah? Because I didn't sit there for 2 years and enjoy Allardyce football, yeah? I will sack Allardyce from the day he walked into the club.
So if he would have won us something, would you have fired him?
Oh, mate, yeah, but do you know what, though? This is the thing. If I had the option, yeah, and it's out there in the public, luckily, because I wrote about it,
right,
he would never have been in the position to win anything.
Okay, that's
fine. Because he would have been never appointed.
But then a lot of people might have said that about Moyes. Now, if Allardyce would have won something, would you have said, oh, well, that would be harsh to sack Allardyce. He's won us something.
No, because I was sacking him the day I bought the club or the day he was appointed.
You're not going to answer the question.
He would never have been appointed.
What was Adam's question? Did he have a question?
Adam's question was, but what he's saying is he thinks Moyes has to stay, and even more so if he keeps us up and lifts the Conference League.
What?
He says, I think, that's what he says. He thinks Moyes has to stay. Even more so if he keeps us up.
Thanks for coming, Adam. You asked no question. You gave us your opinion over something that might never happen.
He's made us an offer as well.
Fucking hell.
He's made me and you an offer.
Go on.
So he said it's not for the podcast though,
Oh,
but we'll see. Oh, I'll see David Anson.
oh yeah. What?
Yeah.
The football?
I actually said hello to him.
If
I
only
said
you
I'm
should
your
send a
mate.
text.
So I bought slaps his back. I said, I went to him, mate, and you the famous West Ham goalkeeper? Aren't you the goalkeeper? You spoke
The
to West Ham.
smallest goalkeeper ever.
And he turned around and he went, yeah, I am. And I went, no, I'm only joking with you, mate. I'm Cantan Lynn, mate. Lou Murphy. And he went, oh, and he laughed.
Ah, good old Dano.
Yeah.
He's a good fella.
Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Evening, chaps, he says. Bit of the Moyes West Ham of old going 2-0 down. About time and lovely to see. Oh, after going 2-0. He has got a question, but he says
Right.
it may be one for Sean. This is good. But what exactly is Mark Noble doing as sporting director? Ooh, going to funerals, I think.
And cafes.
Well, I think the cafe was before the funeral. There was a big blow up about his role when he first went in, and to this day, I'm not sure we know what his actual job is. It's curious as to what sway he has in the club and over what areas. Does Moyes? No, Moyes does not report directly to him. He said, because I'm sure Moyes would bloody hate that. Keep up the great work. Brady out.
Radio. Well, actually, when you come to think of it, our next manager might have some. How do I put this? How do I put this? Choosing our next manager might be dependent on not Noble's opinion, but whether it will give him a little bit more kudos in his role. For example, Gary O'Neill at Bournemouth is someone that would have played with Noble. Thus, if Gary O'Neill would come to West Ham next season, whether people think that's a good move, bad move, whatever, it might give Noble a bit more, a bit more comfort in his role, and then they can kind of learn
As
together.
he would be
Does
the
that make
senior
sense?
person,
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
relationship. Yeah, I
yeah.
get it. Because basically, in a way, he's given a position of power. But
At a time where he's got none.
yeah, but not only that, he's supposed to wield the power over someone that was telling men how to play football for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is too big of a jump. You know, it's yeah, it's difficult.
Do you know what? Also, I think David Moyes might have screwed himself out of a similar role like that himself, because I actually think that he might have been a good director of football, David Moyes. I think I don't think he's become a bad manager. It's just become not right for the job anymore. For someone to come in to run a football club, I think he's very good at it. But we don't need that now. We just need.
Yeah, he could have been a good overseer.
Yeah.
In a way that Ron looked after John for a good 3 years.
But the time's gone now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
he happens quick
himself with the fan base, isn't he?
Yeah. But not necessarily at our club. I mean, if he would, let's say when he moved on for the first time, might you know? Because then
I'm telling you now, if he wins that trophy, I bet you a lot of the fan base. There's going to be a lot that don't, but there's going to be a lot that come back round.
Well, you'd have to feel that way because it means is, you know.
Because he feels you know. Let's face it.
Everyone's going to feel different about it.
Listen, people 3 years, 4 years younger than you won't remember winning the cup in 1980.
No.
So, anyone over the age of 46, 47 are not really going to have a great memory of it.
No.
Yeah? Or definitely 45. So no West Ham fan, 45 or under, knows what it's like for us to win a trophy. If he does that, I mean...
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for people to think that way. They might not think that way. But then again, listen, look. We keep talking about this fucking trophy, winning this trophy like it's going to be easy.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but let's face it. When you're in the quarter final against Ghent, home leg to come, let's get through that. And I can. Look, there's a bit of me that still could argue. Actually, we could win, we could lose. I could see seeing the way Ghent played. I could see us getting caught on a sucker punch and getting caught out.
Maybe you're right.
So it ain't.
Okay,
it ain't,
but to counter your argument, right? If we don't win this trophy, or let's say we lose Thursday out, we're going to start thinking a different way again.
yeah.
You could be thinking, actually, I want him gone now before the end of the season.
No, the way I look at it is I'm not a great lover of. I wouldn't get rid of him if we were safe. If we were safe and it was done, then you could think you could announce it. Oh, he's going at the end of the season. But if we're in the cup final, you can't do that.
No.
Yeah. So
No.
it's one of them. There is There's always redemption apart from for Allardyce. There was never any redemption.
Well, there you go. You just answered it
Yeah.
yourself.
Two-faced. I don't care. Yeah. At the end of the day, when it comes to him,
you got enough chins for it.
I have, thank you. Yeah, I think I've grown another one recently. But the Allardyce, Pulis, Graham Taylor, them managers ain't happening. The Allardyce specifically definitely was the Darth Vader of football.
But I mean, it seems unlikely. We don't look like a team who's going to win a cup this year. We've got to be realistic. So,
Okay, all right.
I know we can.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not saying that, but it's still.
We'll see.
Look at the bookies. Yeah, all right.
Chris Murphy, evening, gents. He says, first off, Brady out.
Brady
it does
out.
have lens on tonight. Do you think we are safe if we beat Bournemouth the weekend? And where do you think we need to strengthen in the summer if we stay up? So if we beat Bournemouth at the weekend, that's 34 points.
Well, not mathematically safe.
No.
But I think we'll be safe. Yeah, we'll be. I'm not looking over my shoulder now, and I think most of the fan base would join me if we beat Bournemouth. What was the other part of the question?
Where do you think we need to strengthen if we? I love this. If we stay up.
I don't know. It would. I mean, it's a manager's choice, isn't it? Literally, whatever tactic he wants to play. I don't know. I'd rather. There's so much still to look at this season rather than looking that far ahead. I don't know the answer. Where would you want to strengthen? I don't know.
There was one last question, which for some reason I lost. Here we go. Getting it back. Don Roberts.
Hello, Don. Good customers, Don.
Don says, if it goes to penalties on Thursday, should Moyes bring on Fabianski or Areola, as his record for penalty saves is far better?
Yes.
100%, Don. 100%. Ooh, do you know what?
As a goalkeeper being replaced, how would you feel about that, Nigel?
It's a tactic. It's one of them that if it works as a manager, you're lauded for it, and if it don't work, you're absolutely slaughtered for it. And
do you think he'd do it? I don't think he'd do it.
No, I think he would
Might
do it.
play him in the first. He'd probably play him in the first.
Push comes to shove.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing, but his ability. Didn't Areola who did we lose on penalties to? No, we beat Man City.
We beat them.
Who did we lose on penalties to? I think we lost on penalties to someone.
A crap side.
And Areola was Blackburn.
He got nowhere near. That's right. He got nowhere near any of them.
Got nowhere near. So
You're right.
It was Blackburn.
Yeah, Don. It's an easy question. Yeah, we're going to replace him.
So now, when you think, having been through that, I think maybe when you look at Fabianski, he's got a good penalty saving record. Saved like 3 or 4 of his last 5 or 6 or something, which is bloody excellent for a goalkeeper. So, yeah. Yes, Don, basically.
Yes.
Right, that's about wraps it up. Thanks for listening, people. I'll leave you with one last thing. Sean sent a picture. So, of our remaining fixtures, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Palace, Man City, Man United, Brentford, Leeds and Leicester, in the corresponding fixtures this season, we've only beat Bournemouth out of those lot, and we got a point Leeds. So, if that got matched up, if that got matched up, 3 points against Bournemouth and a point to Leeds, I don't think that's enough to keep you up.
No.
35 points. Or it might come to goal difference. It might be that goal difference keeps us up. But
well, Thursday night, Sunday, and then we got another midweek game, haven't we?
So, there's a lot of football going on.
Yeah.
Because we got Thursday night, then Sunday Bournemouth.
Right.
Tuesday the Youths at Arsenal. Wednesday Liverpool. I think then it's Saturday Crystal Palace.
Right.
I don't think there's a midweek game after that. But then after Palace, it's Man United at home on the Sunday. 7 o'clock kickoff, isn't it? Sunday night. Because it's a bank holiday. Then we go into Europe again if we qualify on the Thursday. After the Crystal Palace game, we do have a midweek game. Tell a lie, because we got the Man City rearranged game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So we do play weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek.
Yeah, that's
near
how
enough.
I see it.
If we qualify in Europe, near enough all the way to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a break before the final in June.
Yeah, June the 7th. Yeah. Time for me to rush out and get a passport. Right, that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
My thanks as ever to Len.
My thank you as forever to Nigel.
There you go. And we'll see you all next time. We'll now play out the theme tune.
Hey. Thanks for tolerating us.
Bye. That's it. We're finished now. He can edit this fucking bit out. Make him do some work for a change. We'll see if he leaves this in. I'll let him know we're done. Message me when finished. Reply. Finished. Oh. Right.
Right.
I send to him. I'll speak to you later.
Okie dokie. Speak to you later on.
All right.
Ta-da. Bye.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.